The best way to make sure you keep on track with meeting your financial goals is to make a plan each and every month. It's time to build my August budget, and I'm going to show you how I do it step by step. Ready? Let's go! Welcome back to Ready Budget Go. My name is Drew, and on this channel we talk about household budgeting, saving money, and achieving our financial goals. So if those sound like things that you vibe with, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and leave me a comment down below, because I'd love to hear from you. As I mentioned, it is time to put together the August budget. I can't believe that we're here already, but we got to do what we got to do. So I'm going to fill in August 2025. And let's first talk about income. So I'm going to bring up the budget sheet for July. I'm still in July when I'm doing this plan, obviously, so this is not yet completed, but I have some of the figures. So for next month, for paycheck 1 and paycheck 2, I'm actually going to budget a smaller amount. Instead of $3,070, I'm going to put in $3,000. And to be honest, that might be a little high. The reason is that I have upped my retirement contributions. That's one of the reasons. So I am withholding 2% more for my 401k through my employer. The other reason is that I was supposed to get a raise in July and it didn't come through. Not just for me, but for my entire company. So I won't go into the reasons why, just because I don't want to be controversial. But suffice it to say that my industry is on the struggle bus right now. And so my raise has been delayed 6 months. So my income, my gross income will stay the same, but my net income I'm going to step down because I'm still going to increase my retirement contributions, even though I'm not getting the extra money. And this $3,000 might be high. It might come in a little under that, but we'll see. So then I've also got the cell phone reimbursement, which I do every month. And that should be the same $100. I don't expect that will change. So it makes the math real simple there. Then we've got our regular monthly bills. So I'm going to start on the first with rent, $1,792. This is for a one-bedroom apartment, folks. It's expensive to live here. Also, water, sewer, garbage, which we have to pay on top of rent. I'm going to budget about $100 because it's been coming in under that. I had 120 previously, but then it came in at 92. Orca, which is the regional transit pass, I'm going to put in $50. This is a top-up of my stored value on the card. I'm not going to buy a pass for August because I don't think I'm using it enough to justify buying a full monthly pass. But this is, initially it was for the buy-up, but now I think that's going to get me through the whole month. So this number will increase, but I'm not going to have the monthly pass anymore. Okay, so then we've got iCloud, and that will be its usual $3. Renter's insurance on the 3rd, $15. On the 5th, Quantum, which is my home internet, $80. On the 10th, YouTube Premium will come out, and that will be $16. We're going to skip over that Orca card on the 21st. PUD, which is electricity. I'm still going to keep this at $60, even though it's been coming in a little bit lower. It's been warm here, so I've been running the air conditioning a lot. That is one of the benefits of living here, is that electricity is cheaper than it is in most parts of the country, because we have that good hydro. So Affirm on the 21st, that is cell phone hardware, $43. Financed at 0%, and it's almost paid off too. The 24th, Visible, which is cell phone service, $35 a month. Let's see, I will have, what else? Okay, so that's it for the regular expenses, because these were all unique expenses for July. So for other expenses, I will get the bill for Microsoft 365. That's an annual subscription. I don't know how much it's going to be. Don't know how much it's going to be this year, but last year I paid around $77, $78. So I'm just going to budget 80, and we'll see what it actually comes in at. I'm also expecting a doctor bill. This was for a specialist that I saw in July, and I don't have the bill yet, so I can only guess. I'm going to estimate 250, and then around the 20th, I will get another haircut. And I am going to do what I did last month and forego the trip to my old barber and go to the new barber, so that will cost me 60 instead of 100 or more. Okay, so let's add all of this up. So 1792, 150, 3, 15, 80, 16, 60, 43, 35, 80, 250, and 60, $2,584. And I should be filling in this section as I go. And then for wallet spending, this will be 5 weeks in August. So the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th, because my weeks run from Friday through Thursday, and I give myself $300 each week. Now, that is primarily food, but it's also entertainment, it is household expenses, it is, just any kind of general spending, about $300 a week. And it goes fast. It sure does. Stockpile, 1,500. 1500. Gotta have myself. Okay, stockpiles. So on the 15th, which will be paycheck 2, I should have about $700 free. And I will tell you about where this is going to go on the next page. But for now, $700 set aside. Savings and extra debt. This is by Wednesday, and there are only 4 Wednesdays in August. So the 6th, the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. And that is also $300 per week. So that comes out to $1,200, $700, and $1,200. Okay, so this is for my Roth IRA. Once that is fully funded, then we'll move on to the next big goal, which is the big move. And I've been talking about that periodically. That is where next year I'm planning on moving out of state. And I figure that's going to cost me a pretty penny. And I just did some more research, and in fact, I may need to up the budget for that. So that will be my focus for the rest of this year. And then when 2026 starts, I'll be back to saving in the Roth IRA till that's fully funded, and then back to the big move. Okay, so let's get a total here. So we've got $6,100 in income, and we're going to subtract $2,584 for bills, $1,500 for wallet, $700 for stockpiles, and $1,200 for savings. And that gives us a buffer, or a remainder, of $116. I don't budget to zero just because if I budget to zero, I end up moving things around and it gets really convoluted for me really fast. So I just leave a remainder in here, and if I don't use it all, then it just goes into my checking account buffer. Okay, so that is the monthly budget overview. Let's next talk about, and I can set this aside for a moment because I don't need this. Let's next talk about the cash allocation. So again, we're doing this for August in 2025. So for my wallet, each week I give myself $200 in card spending and $100 in cash. And that's how I am going to describe it this time around. In the past, I've said, groceries and miscellaneous, or groceries and restaurants, or what have you, but I think it makes more sense just to do card and cash, because I want to make sure that I am giving myself the $100 in cash each week so that it's available if I decide to spend it, or rather if I go somewhere where it is better to pay cash than with a card. For me, places where I like to use cash instead of a card is anywhere that is going to ask me to tip where I do not feel a tip is necessarily warranted. This includes establishments where it's counter service and I am bussing my own table. I am sometimes retrieving my own food. So if I'm doing most of the work, I'm not tipping. That is just my take on it. If I am getting table service, if someone is taking my order and bringing my food and bussing my table, then I am all too happy to tip, and I tip generously um, when I do. But like I say, if I'm doing all the work, I'm not tipping. Just like tipping at the self checkout. Like, what is that? I don't get that. You're doing all the work. It's the grocery store, and they're asking for a tip. Okay, so that is going to come out to 1,500. And then for stockpiles, this is going to go toward FinCon. FinCon, for those who do not know, is a financial conference for content creators. It happens every year. This year it's in September and it is in Portland, Oregon, and I will be going. So this $700 is going to go toward my travel expenses. I don't pay for hotels typically. I use travel rewards from credit cards that I have that accumulate points toward that. So it will be for flights, for transportation, like ground transportation, incidentals, anything like that. So that is what I'm setting aside that money for. Okay, let's go on to the next page. This will be a quick one. This is just the monthly cash flow tracker. And I don't really have much to fill in here. Goodness, words are hard today. Other than the month and year, just because I won't know what the beginning balance is for my checking account until we finish July, and obviously I don't know what the ending balance is, nor any of the transactions, so I'm just going to leave the rest of it blank, but I printed it out just so it's set up for August when the month starts. Okay, similarly for the expense tracker, because obviously we're not in the month yet, I don't have any expenses for that month to record, but I am going to make the sheet up so that it's available when the month starts. And then the last form is the month-end review. So I need to get back the monthly budget overview. Okay. So I have the numbers handy. So August 2025. So income, the plan is 6,100. Bills, 2,584. Wallet, 1,500. Stockpile, 700. Savings, 1,200. Extra debt, I don't have any debt. Well, that's not entirely true. I have the Affirm for my cell phone, but my company pays that through a reimbursement, so I don't count that as debt. Certainly, if I lose my job and the cell phone reimbursement goes away, I will just pay that off out of savings or my cash buffer or something, because the balance is like $300. I mean, it's really low. And then the remainder is 116. So that is all I need to do to set this up to be ready for August. That is all 5 of my budget sheets ready to go. So I am going to hole punch these and put them into my binder. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so you can follow along with me as I work through the month. Every week I post a budget update where I record any of the income that came in, any of the money that went out, and any of the money that I saved. And like I say, I do that every single week with real numbers so that you can follow along and help me stay accountable. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a thumbs up. Again, subscribe if you're new. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps me out a lot. Leave a comment down below so that I know you were here. And until I see you in the next one, which should be Monday night for game night, take care.